Environment, Shri Eshwar khandre. Sir, ತಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ.
Thank you, sir. Same meeting ಇತ್ತು.
ಬಲಪಡಿಸುವಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹತ್ವದ ಪಾತ್ರ ವಹಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಖಿಲ ಭಾರತ ವೀರಶೈವ ಲಿಂಗಾಯತ ಮಹಾಸಭಾ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಸಮುದಾಯದ ಸರ್ವಾಂಗೀಣ ಏಳಿಗೆಗೆ ಶ್ರಮಿಸುತ್ತಿರುವ ಖಂಡ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಲೋಕನಾಯಕ, ಶತಾಯುಷಿ, ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರ, ಧೀಮಂತ ನಾಯಕ, ಮುತ್ಸದ್ದಿ ರಾಜಕಾರಣಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಮಾಜಿ ಸಾರಿಗೆ ಸಚಿವರಾದ ಭೀಮಣ್ಣ ಖಂಡ್ರೆ ಅವರ ಸುಪುತ್ರ ಇವರು ಸೇವಾದಳಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರಿದವರು, ಸಕ್ರಿಯವಾಗಿ ತೊಡಗಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರಾಗಿ ಮುಂಚೂಣಿಯಾಗಿ ನಿಂತು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸೇವಾದಳದಲ್ಲಿ. ಅವರು ಕೋಲ್ಕತ್ತಾದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದ ಸೇವಾದಳದ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ತರಬೇತಿ ಶಿಬಿರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದರು. ಅವರು ದಿವಂಗತ ರಾಜೀವ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಭಾಷಣ ಕೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದರಿಂದ ಅವರೇನಾದರೂ ಉತ್ಸುಕರಾಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನು ಕೂಡ ಸಕ್ರಿಯವಾಗಿ ರಾಜಕಾರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರವೇಶ ಮಾಡಿ ಜನಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಹಾಗೆ ಈಗ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತವಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ತುಂಬ ಶೈಕ್ಷಣಿಕವಾಗಿ ಹೆಣ್ಣುಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಉಪಯೋಗವಾಗುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಹೆಸರು ಶಾಂತಿವರ್ಧಕ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಅಂತ. ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಅವರು 5 ಕೋಟಿ ಸಸಿಗಳನ್ನು ನೆಟ್ಟು ಜಿಯೋ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪೋಷಿಸುವ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಲಾಖೆ ಈವರೆಗೆ 5 ಕೋಟಿ 11 ಲಕ್ಷ ಸಸಿ ನೆಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಗುರಿ ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವರಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಆತ್ಮೀಯವಾದ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ.
Former professor at the National Law School, Mr. H.V. Harish, who's our board member, and I think we don't have Dr. Ashwin Mahesh here as well. So let me read out the declaration. The following Bengaluru Declaration is the collective wisdom emerging out of the learnings of these together with other efforts of the Center for Sustainable Development and other stakeholders. This is an optimistic expression of hope, commitment to the mission, preparedness to take up the task in the right, earnest and clear determination to stop not till the goal is reached by India. The Sustainable Development Leadership Summit organized by CSD on November 4th, 2023 in Bengaluru after due deliberations resolved to issue the Bengaluru Declaration on Sustainable Development to further accelerate the progress of SDGs, taking into account in particular the challenges faced at the state and local levels. This declaration proclaims out of the 17 goals enumerated in the UN SDGs, we consider the following goals need focused attention, as these have shown relatively less progress than desired and need to be accelerated to meet the 2030 agenda. Goal number 2, sustainable agriculture, food security. Goal number 6, ensuring availability and sustainable management and water and sanitation for all. Goal 8, promote sustained, inclusive and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment and decent work for all. Goal 11, make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient and sustainable. Goal 12, ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. And Goal 13, take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. Now, the resolution, may I request all those here to kindly stand up and we will take a resolution. We, the generation current, including the youth, the stewards of environment, determined to save and secure ourselves and the generation subsequent from the impending hazards of unsustainable development and extreme impacts of climate change, and embark on a model of development that is environmentally sustainable and ensuring climate justice for all, hereby solemnly resolve and adopt a lifestyle for environment that promotes consumption of organic products and produce and goods that are regionally and culturally compatible, including the increasing inclusion of little millets in our food culture and dietary practices. We shall avail services that are carbon neutral, energy conserving and efficient, availing mass public transport option, reuse, recycling, reduction and elimination of waste, reclaiming, restoration and rejuvenation of local commons like lake and water bodies, ecosystems, guarding, protecting, nurturing and improving life supporting and sustaining flora and fauna. Rejection and elimination of unsafe and harmful hazardous technologies, substances and practices that are life-threatening, life-debilitating and seriously impacting the integrity of our natural resources. And relentlessly endeavor to usher in a just, equitous and inclusive social order. We finally resolve to join hands and contribute our bit in making India a global leader in sustainable development and Bengaluru the sustainability capital of India. Thank you. May I now request the Chief Guest, Honorable Minister Sri Eshwar Khandre, and the other guests on the dais to release the Bengaluru Declaration.
Everybody. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ 10 ಬರಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಹಿರಿಯ ಸಚಿವ ಸಂಪುಟದ ಸದಸ್ಯರ ಸಭೆಯನ್ನು ಕರೆದಿದ್ರು. ನಿನ್ನೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 9:30 ಗಂಟೆಯಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ನಡೀತು. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ನಾನು ವಿಳಂಬವಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ಅನಾನುಕೂಲ ಆಗಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ವಿಷಾದವನ್ನು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಆತ್ಮೇಲೆ today's chief guest Sri Srinivas Murthy ji, respected Sri A. Ravindra ji, Sri Javed Akhtar ji, distinguished delegates, media friends, thank you for having me here with you this morning. We all live in fortunate times, you and me. But these fortunate times might not last. Today our collective survival is at stake, thanks to one of the biggest threats to our continued existence and sustenance on earth, that is climate change. In these times of great uncertainty, we all have a collective duty towards protecting whatever it is that we have built thus far for future generations. There are many ways of defining sustainability, but the one that is my favorite is the one used by the United Nations Brundtland Commission in the year 1987. It defines sustainability as meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. Without compromising this ability of the future generations for their needs. But are we really giving them a fair chance at survival? This is the most pertinent and important question pertinent with the global scientific community. Policymakers, intergovernmental bodies, and all the stakeholders all of whom are working to the best of their abilities to arrive at the pathway, the very pathway which can be the key to our continued survival. Human beings as species have always aspired for betterment. It is this quest that has ushered in the wonderful technological revolution where pretty much everything is in the realm of the possible. But to be able to achieve this level of finesse, we have severely compromised our environment, degraded it, and are consuming our finite resources at a breakneck speed without thinking about a tomorrow. That brings us to a very pertinent question. Development for whose sake and at what cost? Bangalore, our beloved city, the Silicon Valley of the East, was one of the most beautiful cities and probably one of the best places to live in until the turn of the century. It was around this time that our city started attracting global investment for multiple projects, including but not limited to the IT and BT sectors alone. Suddenly, the growth trajectory of the city changed as more and more investments started trickling in, and it simply exploded within no time. Thanks to the labor-intensive nature of work of these sectors, people from all over the country started moving to Bangalore for employment and better prospects for themselves and their families, which lead to massive surge in the demand for more living spaces. This led to complete transformation of Bangalore from a planned and model, environmentally sustainable city built to accommodate a certain rate of human population growth over a period of time to an inorganically dense and unsustainably ever-growing urban jungle with a myriad of concrete structures. Everything changed in a very short span of time, which wasn't planned for by the planners of the past. They may have never imagined that the growth of the city would be so spectacular, so striking and so unsustainable that we have gone from being one of the best cities in the world to being a city with endless traffic jams, depleting groundwater tables, degrading environment and unsustainable growth in an unusually short span of time. And this is just a small snapshot of the issues that we face collectively as Bangaloreans today. When I was sworn in as the Minister of Forest Ecology and Environment for Karnataka State, I made it a priority to understand how to go about controlling the degradation process and how to help rejuvenate our ecosystems across the state. Of all the places, Bangalore was and continues to be the biggest challenge for me and the government, and my dedicated team was striving hard to make a difference. Many aspects came to the fore when we started working out on the problems clogging our city, and some of the most important pertinent ones which we face are unregulated and illegal constructions, improper water sewerage and sanitation systems, encroachment, pollution and draining of multiple lakes and other water bodies in and around Bangalore city, mushrooming of multiple highly polluting industries in the vicinity of the city which don't follow environmental norms, deforestation and subsequent encroachment of forest areas both in and around the city, depleting groundwater tables, improper waste handling and management, and the pollution being caused by vehicular exhaust. While some of these issues have a direct connection with my ministry, others do not, and I don't have the mandate to do anything about them. But the ones which we can do something about, we intend to make a big difference. Some of the initiatives that I have been working on include effective waste management, rejuvenation and reclamation of lakes in and around Bangalore city, afforestation and reclamation of encroached forest areas in and around Bangalore city, management of polluting and highly polluting industries in the vicinity of the city, policies for pollution control from vehicular discharge, air quality improvement across the city. Apart from this, I am also working on game-changing aspects such as carbon neutral transportation and the concept of circular economy, which can really help us in the longer run. We are trying and hoping to make a difference, but to be able to be successful and to make an impact, we will need the help of all you, the stakeholders. The initiative with the Center for Sustainable Development is precisely the kind of initiative that is needed at this hour to be able to raise awareness among the people of Bangalore who are but the most important stakeholders and the real difference makers. We are having a tough time today, no doubt, but with a little planning and little effort, we can and we will turn that tide. Thank you. Thank you.
In having our Honorable Minister to come and inaugurate our Sustainability Leadership Summit. It is not often that we find ministers accepting such a program to speak about on sustainable development. We have tried in the past and not really succeeded often, let us say. That is one. And the way he spoke shows his passion. I think, sir, we are really delighted that you seem to be committed to the cause of sustainable development, energy, and particularly the revival of Bangalore. It's not going to be an easy task. It is very, very challenging. And I only wish that you can share or transmit your wisdom to some of your colleagues. I'm sorry to say that. Because you see, you may be trying to make Bangalore a sustainable city. You may be trying to make Bangalore sustainable, but there are some others trying to make it a more unsustainable city. See, the type of development projects, as you said, I think one of the important questions raised by the minister is development at what cost and for whose sake. I think we need to deliberate on this. The type of development, the development model we are pursuing in India today, I think needs to undergo a paradigm shift in my view. Unless we do that, it is one thing to boast about the economic growth rate that maybe currently India is the highest growth rate in the world and all that. You may have even GDP, we might have reached the fifth biggest economy. But what is your per capita income? Per capita income is one of the lowest in the world. And more than that, there are some contradictions. Food security has become a very major issue today. And the irony, sir, in India, that we have surplus food grains, huge surpluses. We have, our agriculture has progressed quite a lot. But at the same time, we have children dying of hunger or severe malnutrition, undernutrition, especially in your Kalyan Karnataka region. So how do we, reconcile these contradictions? So it is very important, I think, now to, and looking at the future, as I said, think about, I would like the other participants to deliberate on this issue and whatever subject they may speak about. Keep this in mind. What is the shift we want in our development process or the model that we would like to have? Well, it may slightly vary from state to state also. Because the northern region, east, west and southern region. For instance, in the south, I think states have started saying, we have contributed more to the economy, but you are giving us less because of the finance commission in a devolution. And I think the Karnataka also will take it up. Whereas in some of the northern states, where there are, not only is their contribution much low, but it's just becoming they get a bigger slice of the cake. And the states have worked hard to reduce population growth rate, to contribute to economic growth. These are some of the issues that we need to tackle also. These are all the things. But in particular, sir, I would certainly request you to see, in Bangalore at least you can prevent, this deforestation in the nearby area. See, so many beautiful forest areas, mini forests, or we need to develop what is called city forest. I think if you can do something along the Javed, I would request you, give some land to develop new city forests. Even in the city, there are open spaces. Open spaces are being gobbled. Either they are encroached or they are gobbled up by somebody or the other. So these are some of the issues that we need to take up. Very good. No. Yeah, that is where BBMP area is something very problematic. And as I said, the most important problem we are facing is governance of the city, anywhere in India. And Bangalore becomes more challenging because it used to be such a beautiful city and with very good climate. People used to come. That is how Bangalore got populated. Everyone started coming and settled down in areas like that. It is very salubrious climate, very good people, good law and order. And then in the IT industry came, and along with it the traffic congestion, increase in incomes, and all the negative things also started coming. So now our challenge, good and bad are there. It's considered we're still the Silicon Valley of India, leading IT. It's one of the world's technology hubs. So we cannot let our advantages go. Otherwise we will be nowhere. We need economic growth. We need modern technology, and that is another challenge, modern technology. And at the same time, how to make not only Bangalore, the other cities also more sustainable. I think sustainable cities is going to be one of the biggest challenges that all developing countries face. And India, today's newspaper says, Delhi, the amount of pollution, the AQI, air quality index in Delhi has crossed, the 400 plus. That means it is very severe. You are in danger. 468 or so, it is terrible. So they are saying people are choking. Even Bombay has crossed 300. People, yesterday's article about Bombay, some resident has said, we are not able to breathe. And 20 of the most polluted cities in the world are in India. So these are terrible challenges that we are facing. So how do we really go ahead? And I think we need to answer these questions than merely expressing hopes, saying that it's DG, we have made this progress, or all sorts of things. Yeah, we need to be hopeful about the future. There is certainly no, but we need to chalk out a very pragmatic action plan, and that's what CST intends to do. And probably the sustainable development Bangalore declaration is something that we have brought up. I think our executive director Srinivas will say something about it, and then we will see how we can include some of these in the Bangalore declaration later, and then take it up both with the government of Karnataka and with your head government of India also. It should reach the Prime Minister. Thank you very much.